Bill. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty well. I'm Andrew.
Andrew?
Nice to meet you.
You too.
All right. I appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely. So how long have you lived in Elbridge for?
Geez, pretty much my whole life. We've been in the house that we're in now for coming up on 30 years, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, getting ready to retire. I know you've been working for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been with Kenny. Well, it was, phase when I first started, like 39 years ago. So I've been there a long time. But yeah, we're both. I'm going to be 65 in October, so yeah, that's the date I'm looking to pull the trigger and just being done.
Okay. All right. Good. How about your wife? She also looking to
Yeah,
zero in on that anytime soon?
Yeah, same
Okay.
time. Yeah, ideally we'd like to be in a position to be able to just walk away at the same time and enjoy retirement together.
Okay, excellent. The reason I asked that is because we have the policy here that is the existing business, but the retirement planning is a big part of what we do in terms of making sure that we do a comprehensive plan for a lot of our clients.
Okay.
But first and foremost, let's take a look at what you have here.
Sure.
$25,000 whole life policy.
Yeah.
When was the last time that someone even just walked you through that?
It's got to be 10, 12 years anyway.
Okay, all right.
It's been some time.
The whole lives are very strong policies. As you can see, they do produce pretty strong dividends for you as well.
Sure.
Looks like your primary beneficiary is Sarah.
Right.
And then I do have your children as the contingent beneficiary.
Right. Yep.
I see you have, is it three kids?
Three, yeah,
oh,
three,
wow.
three
Good for you.
daughters.
What are the names of the kids? Don't mind me asking.
Molly, Avery, and Quinn.
Okay. How old are the kids at this point?
Molly's 42. Avery is 39, and Quinn is 29.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are they all doing? They still local, or are they?
They're all local.
Okay.
Well, relatively. Molly's in Rochester. The other two are right around this area. Both still live in the Elbridge area.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Good. Any grandkids yet?
Yeah, 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you.
This is weird.
Nice big family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. But it looks like that policy has served you very well.
Yeah.
It's a healthy policy. In terms of your need for protection, it looks like your kids are on their feet. Do you have any other sort of liabilities that you're still kind of worried about that insurance kind of becomes relevant? Mortgages? Anything
No,
like that?
actually we paid our mortgage off last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we that was a big win for us for sure.
Yeah, because it probably took a long, long time.
Yeah.
Very good. I might have to take a few notes here for you.
Sure.
All right. Do you have any questions about the insurance end of things?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
Okay,
It's been,
okay.
Yeah, just cranking right along.
Sure. So, getting ready to retire, don't mind me asking, have you sat down with anybody to kind of look at how this is all going to play out?
Not really. I mean, the only person I've ever really talked to about it is the guy that came into our office when we changed our 401k plan back, geez, probably 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
You know, and he didn't really talk to me about the retirement other than just, you know, where I should have my money invested inside the 401k. So.
Yeah, okay, so you still have the 401k.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. How much is the value of that, don't mind me asking? How's that been doing for you?
It's been good. It's been good.
Okay.
This year's been a little rough, but it's about $390 right now, isn't there?
Okay. Yeah, so for a lot of people, the 401k is kind of the cornerstone of retirement, so it's
Sure.
definitely been on a lot of people's minds, especially with market volatility, in terms of, okay, how is that going to play out?
Yeah.
Do you have any other assets besides the 401k? Do you have any IRAs, anything that you're kind of also using to
I don't.
help you
That's
retire?
all I've got. My wife's got, you know, her retirement, but that's it for me.
Okay. You know what she has?
She's got a 403B through the hospital, and she's got a I don't know if I think it's a 401k from her previous job.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So really, all these pieces they build a puzzle, kind of fit together. And so
Sure.
it's good to have assets, and so you guys have done a great job with that in terms of you getting nearly $400,000 in your 401k and her 403b and 401k.
Yeah.
You happen to ballpark what might be in hers as well?
Yeah, I think she's got about 70 in her 401k or her 403b, and then in that old 401k, I think it's probably around 125, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay, all right. Does Kenny offer you any sort of pension plan or anything like that?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the pension plans, unfortunately, are few and far between.
Yeah.
A lot of like my grandfather was IBM worker, and he escaped with a pension, and
Yeah.
my other grandfather, the other side, did as well.
Sure.
But those were good. Those are good to have. The reason being is because they provide income for people when they retire. And so when you have your assets, because now a lot of people who are retiring are just retiring off of assets and not pensions.
Yeah.
Really, your assets are your pensions. And so that's what you're going to be looking toward in terms of how am I going to build my income when I retire.
Sure.
Rather than just watching your assets slowly decrease. But have you looked into this, some literature and statistics about how to use those assets, what to withdraw, when to withdraw it? Do you have any kind of background on that?
Not really. No, I haven't put a ton of thought into it. I mean, I feel like we've built up a pretty nice nest egg, so
Yeah.
not overly concerned about it. I feel like we're in pretty good shape, but with Social Security and all that, so.
Yeah. Have you started drawing Social Security?
No,
at this point?
no, not in October, or when I retire, then we'll go down to the Social Security office, or when we retire, we'll go down to the Social Security office and get that squared away.
Okay. Yeah, Social Security is a very big component to a lot of people's retirement.
Yeah.
And there's different strategies for that. If you continue to defer, Social Security actually does grow.
Yep.
And so it might be something worth looking into.
Okay.
I can definitely walk you through that as well.
Sure.
I won't charge or anything. You're a potential client. I want to make sure that we're doing right by you.
Okay.
But with the 401ks and the 403bs, it really just ties into the picture of making sure that you have retirement income.
Sure.
And so you have your Social Security. At that point, that's kind of your base.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a pension, that would also form kind of your base.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say you bring home every year yourself?
My take-home pay?
Yep.
Geez, I hadn't really thought. I know that I make 110 as my salary.
Okay. Gross?
Yeah.
Okay.
So take-home, I don't know, probably, after 401k and benefits and all that stuff, probably 65,000, I'd guess.
Okay. All right. The reason I ask is because that's really the amount that you're going to want to shoot for when you retire. You're not used to living off of a Social Security check.
Sure.
You're used to living off of 65,000.
Right.
Does that make sense? How about your wife?
Take home, let's see, she's probably more like 50, bringing home 50, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay. Net or gross for that?
Or net, I'm sorry.
Net's 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give or take.
Yeah. So really, if you think about it, you're 65,000 and her 50,000. That really is what is the quality of life that you've come to expect and you've come to want. Put any thought into what you want to do when you retire? Go down to Florida?
No. No.
Okay.
We'll do a little bit of traveling. Maybe a trip or two every year. Spend time with the grandkids. Nothing crazy.
Spoil the grandkids, that sort of thing. Yeah.
So nothing crazy for sure.
They say that when you retire, every day's a Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, and you can imagine why. If you think of what you do on a Saturday, you go out to eat.
I mow my lawn a lot.
Mow your lawn, yeah. Once a day.
Right.
Yeah, you go out and spoil the grandkids, you go on trips, and so that's really what you want to do when you're retired. And so the happiest retirees, and this is proven in terms of science and also just in terms of psychology, are actually the ones who don't just have a nest egg, but can make sure that they have a guaranteed source of revenue. That's why companies offer their employees pensions. That's why the government offers Social Security for people. And so the way that we look at retirement is through replacing your 65,000 and your wife's 50,000.
Okay.
To make sure that you can wake up every morning knowing that you have the money.
Okay.
And not having to watch your nest egg, not having to go get another job. I don't assume you want to take up a part-time job when you're 65.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah. And so what that's called is the income gap analysis.
Okay.
All right. And so it's something we offer complimentary for you. I'm not going to charge you anything, but do just want to make sure that if that's something you are interested in, really all it does is make sure that you have the income that you had when you were working in your retirement years.
Okay.
I'd be more than happy to put something together for you.
Okay.
It's not no pressure situation just to make sure that you know what's out there for you.
Sure.
All right. In terms of your other kind of any other assets or anything else that you have, just help me build that plan. Is there anything else outside of the retirement assets?
Outside of the house, you know, still got some money in savings. You know, the house, the property. Outside of that, nothing major.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other life insurance outside of what you have with Pru?
I got some through work, but that's all going to be gone.
That's probably going to
Yeah.
go. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The way we retire people, it is a combination of grow and protect. So we want to make sure that you have the assets, right? And when we've been discussing that, and you've been kind of maybe even talking to people at work about that. But there are issues in retirement that really just derail people from making sure that they have the money. The biggest issue, I don't know if you have any relatives or if your parents wound up in nursing homes. Do you really see anything like that?
Yeah, I have.
Meaning in-home care?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did any of your parents wind up in nursing homes doing in-home care before?
Both of our grandparents did, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we saw that.
You probably have a history of longevity in your family, you would say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just one other kind of component we look for. It's a great thing to be able to have assets and use them, but it's a much more mature and grounded conversation to make sure that we can protect them as well.
Sure.
A nursing home costs $10,000 a year, if you can believe it. And so we want to make sure you've seen people in your own family who've had to do that. And if you work so hard for these retirement nest eggs that you have for your 401k and your wife's 401k and her 403b, you don't want those to be eaten up.
Right.
And you want to be able to control where you go. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes. So if that's not a priority for you, that's fine. But I do want to make sure that I educate you in the way that I feel is the most comprehensive in terms of doing that. So I'll make sure to do that as well.
Okay.
If that's fine.
Sure.
Do you happen to have any recent statements?
Sure. Yeah, I actually have them all for you. Here you go.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So what I'll do is I'll make copies of that next time I see you. I'll just hand them right back to you, just so I can kind of take a look at how you're allocated, make sure that we're just doing the right thing for you.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for myself?
No, it's I'm looking forward to it. That'd be good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll set up an appointment maybe next week, couple weeks, get back together. I can just do just educate you. I'm not looking to pressure you anything. It's just going to be my time to really just explain to you what we do. Because really, it's a big part of what we do, and you're a valued Prudential client, and so we want to make sure that we offer ourselves to you in the fullest way possible.
Great.
Last thing that I will ask as a favor for you,
Sure.
I do like to run my business largely through word of mouth and referrals, like
Sure.
a lot of people who run their own businesses. I know you got 3 kids and you got 5 grandkids.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind, between maybe now and next time we meet, if you could just try to get a gauge of their situation, especially having young grandkids. There's definitely a need in that stage of life for protection, and if your children are working toward the retirement phase of their lives as well. I know they're in their 40s and some of them are even younger.
Yeah.
But I'd be more than happy to, in time, walk them through how they can even make sure that they're on the right track for that as well. So I'll just have you think about that.
Okay.
Next time I might ask you if I can even reach out to those people or anybody else that might be in the need of those services.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll get your hair and
Okay.
I'll put together some good plans for you.
Great. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bill.
Thank you. Appreciate it.